Hello everyone, I am CoolGuy, and today let's talk a little bit about post-patch 2502, and my full analysis of that is probably going to be next week, if not maybe a little bit longer, because I'm working through it, and I'm trying to find issues. A lot of them have been found, but really try to see what's going on here with counters, the good and the bad of the patch. But in my pre-patch video, I called a primary and grenade meta, so leading your engagements with your grenade, and you guys are seeing them out there. And also things like icebreaker and sidearms, they were talked about, but they are all over the place, and we'll talk about that at a later time. The deal with sidearms, real quick, is they need to play by the same rules as the other special weapons. I don't like, and I hate, and it's kind of disgusting, finishing games with 100 rounds of sidearm reserve compared to everything else, because they are strong. They've always been strong. It's just that you're not really seeing the shotgun counters, etc., etc. And a lot of people are just running around with the trespasser. It's more annoying than anything, but they need to play by the same rules. They can still start with ammo, those 18 rounds, that magazine and a half, for emergent situations to fight against other people that do have special ammo, but keeping it and keeping it and keeping it, that's not good. But today we're going to be focusing on grenades. That's the second part of this meta that I knew would be effective, and there are players running Memory of Fellwinter for double grenades and double melees. The Wombo combo is still extremely effective, like it always was, and things like sticky grenades are more annoying than ever. But as I was playing this patch, I noticed a couple things. Map dependent, so like in the start of a match, if you can't get there first, don't go to the main choke point. I mean, if you have a spawn advantage or a fast class or something like the Mida, do it. But if not, take another route, because we'll take Vertigo right here. I get there pretty fast, I throw the incendiary grenade, my team comes up, and they are just immediately naded out. That's what the start of games are, pretty much. And I go back, and I have to kind of reset and wait for my team. But I would say that the deal with grenades right now is that there's more room for them. Players aren't really up in your face like they were. The engagements are mostly felt as primary weapon engagements, and those grenades are thrown at mid-range. I found myself burning out, I found myself losing engagements that I should have gotten away from, so I decided to try and counter it. So it's now to the point to where just as much as when I noticed that I died, I noticed that I lived instead. So I would like to bring the Memory of Silimar artifact to your attention. And when most people think about Silimar, they think about Thorn, right? Because the artifact states, in the Crucible, resistance to damage over a time tax are greatly reduced. Well, that also means grenades, and every week the artifacts change, and right now there's a bright and shiny tier 12 Memory of Scories just looking at you, wanting you to pick it up, but low-key right next to it is the Memory of Silimar. And I don't even have a Scories yet, and I was getting ready to get it, but after I was playing this patch, I saw Silimar, and I remember what it did, and it's right next to it, so I decided to pick it up. And first of all, I've never really used Scories, I've never really used Fellwinter. Until now, I hadn't really used Silimar, but it got me thinking. This happens right here way too much. Way too much for my liking, and the same thing goes for incendiary grenades. But this video, it's also going to take into consideration what you find value in. I mean, some of you guys run Scories, you run Gelion for the radar. Like myself, I usually go Yolder for the no sprint cooldown. I like that, and every now and then I use Gelion. So Silimar just might be another one that you can throw into your rotation, and I'm going to explain why. Your main grenades are the Axion Bolt, Scatter Grenade, Skip Grenade, Sticky Grenades, Solar Grenades, Lightning, Incendiary, Void Wall, and Void Spike. So this is what I've been running. It's going to be better on a Warlock because of their insane recovery, but the Memory of Silimar, of course, and a chest piece that grants increased recovery after taking Void Splash damage. So what I've been doing, it gives you some sort of buff to 5 or 6 out of those 9 grenades, and some are hard counters and some are soft counters. So let's first start with incendiary grenades. Popular on the Sunbreaker and the Gunslinger, the direct damage is 170 and there's a 7-tick solar burn, and that's going to kill you most of the time. You guys have burned out from that, I can guarantee you, but with Silimar, it takes that burn down to 2 ticks, and you can survive. Same thing, like we'll take the Sunbreaker, the Throwing Knife, and the Sunsinger melee, the burning melee. And for Gunslinger, I'm talking about the Throwing Knife with the Incendiary Blade. It goes to a 2-tick, which again, that can save you. So the Solar Grenade, you can just take a bath in it. To take my word for it, you can sit right on in it, and you don't really have to worry, except for Viking Funeral and Touch of Flame if they nail you with it immediately. But you can run through it no problem. Axion and Scatter Grenades are more for the recovery boost. Once you get hit by them, you get your agility up for 5 seconds. Now, it's not mitigating damage, so Silimar isn't working, but just because we're playing against these grenades a lot, it does give you a faster time to get into your next engagement. Like right here, this guy's in the corner, I bring up my sidearm, hit fire. Now the grenade does hit me, and you see it on the screen. You see the buff. I get my recovery up, we go down. Now the next engagement, once we get down there, an incinerator grenade is thrown at me. Then Silimar comes into effect, and that kind of saves me. So this is where I'm going with this build. But the big one though is the wombo combo, and I still feel that that combination needs to be adjusted, man. The only counter argument is, well, CoolGuy, it uses a melee too, but let's be real here. Things like Frosties are out there, Feltwinter. The entire combo is 29-second cooldown for smoke and 25 seconds for the grenade. That's faster than you think. And as a matter of fact, if you look at the Night Stalker's playbook, it's right there at the top. Boom, wombo combo, followed closely by the Shade Step. But the wombo combo has always been heavily abused. But even more now. I mean, it's one of those things that you remember because they are primary gunfights, and then these grenades are coming out. But nothing against the Night Stalker. I mean, I do the same exact stuff, but it kind of is what it is. And I would say that the majority of hunters are going Night Stalker. You see them a lot. I mean, especially with the no-land combo with the sidearm. But this meta, they're pretty prevalent. But they're used the same way as always. But we're just going to try to combat that part. The actual smoke grenade itself does damage over time. Now, it's under a melee option, which is why I think that Silimar does not counteract it, which is a shame because it does damage over time. It would completely counter it, but we're going to talk through it. That's the first part. The grenade does good damage. It slows you down, it makes your screen black, it does a lot of damage, it locks you in, but it's most potent when you are stuck by it or it's thrown right at your feet. We know this. But the second part of the combo is the grenade used. And the hard part with testing all of this is all the variables, which we're going to get into that. If Void Wall is used, Silimar will joust it. And by the way, I just like seeing that, Silimar's joust. But with the combo, I've found that I'm able to get away a good amount of the time. So if you do not have Silimar and the Void Splash recovery, it kind of eats you alive. Sometimes you get away, sometimes you burn out, sometimes you think that you get away only for the Void Wall to be going the same exact direction that you're jumping. But you see on the screen right here with the chest piece and Silimar, you get Silimar's Joust, Refreshment, and that's our chest piece with the Void Splash recovery, burning and slowed. And we can't do anything about slowed, but you can see what we're doing here. Many times I see Void Wall and they're one shot, I'm half health. I go through that combo because it also matters where they throw it. That's just another variable. But no matter what, you need to think a direct hit is usually a death, but if they throw it to the side of you, you don't take as much damage, and that's where we're going with this. It has to be kind of a perfect grenade. But the other option is the spike, and it's weird because sometimes when the spike initially hits you, you get the refreshment buff from the chest piece. But more often than not, I mean, you really don't. Same thing, a direct hit will kill you with the spike wombo, and there's just so many variables, like I said. And it's tough to judge, but these are the things immediately out of the gate that I see that I want to get this video out. One thing that I can see is that when something like that is thrown at me and I don't die, I notice that because those buffs are on screen. And when I do die and don't have this Silimar or the chest piece, I was like, wow, Silimar probably would have jousted that and helped me. Like I said, some way it combats the Void Walker grenade, meaning the buff from the splash damage, but it's mostly incendiary and Void Wall combos, and that's where the hard counters can happen. Sometimes with spike combos, it's weird. But it's not a world beater, but it has saved a lot of deaths for me, and I want you guys to use this information as you see fit. Myself, again, I'm not a big one artifact all the time kind of player. I usually run Yolder, but after using this, I would say that I'm temporarily going to main this setup. And that's kind of the last part, and that's what I'm going to leave you with. Running this doesn't really hurt or mess anything up that you've been doing. Now, if you like Gillion, or if you like Yolder, or if you like Scories, do it, do you. But I think that there is advantages to running Silimar with the chest piece right now, especially if you're not running an artifact at all. It's just something to always kind of have on, to always kind of maybe help you out. The chest piece for Void Splash damage is just a little extra thing, and it's not necessary, but I have found it very useful. And I didn't go over everything with Silimar, what it can and can't do. I just went over what I'm seeing right now that is popular and how this artifact can help. And it's, you know, you can buy it right now. That's one of the main reasons why I decided to get this video out a little premature. But if you do try this, please get back to me and tell me what you think. I might go in depth on it. Thank you guys for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.